Our very special guest in the studio right now is Nicky DeNocker, and Nicky is our fabulous new production assistant. So if you have written into the show and you've gotten an email back from Nicky, this is Nicky. And such a thrill to have you working with us, first of all. You are an amazing young woman, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You are so intelligent and have such a giving spirit. And
Thank you.
Well, I'll give you a second to talk. At some point, I'll take a breath. But and it's been such a lovely thing having you here. You have added so much to the show. But then on top of all that, I'm talking to you the other day, and you mentioned that you were going to be on the radio, and we asked what for. And so tell us why you were being featured on the radio.
So I was nominated to be the Hero of the Week because I make these like bags for homeless people with just like some things that I think they might need, and I guess people found out about it, and I was nominated, and so I talked about it on the radio a bit.
That's amazing. Yeah. And you know what? There have been so many gifts that doing Compassion in Action has given me personally, and one of them is in talking about showing compassion. I'm hearing from people all the things that they're already doing. So it wasn't.
That's
we have
amazing.
To be very clear that you didn't start to do this a couple of weeks ago. You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
How long?
Probably for like 3 years.
That's amazing.
But it's like it's developed. Like at first it was just some snacks, and now it's like these whole care packages that have, you know, different things. Yeah.
And so can we ask you to tell everybody at home how old you are?
I'm 17.
Okay, so 17, and you've been doing this for 3 years. That's pretty amazing and very inspirational. So you make these bags, and I asked you to bring a bag of goodies, the kinds of things that you put into these bags. So show us. We're not doing an advertisement for the 99-cent store, but you can get some really life-changing things at the 99-cent store.
Exactly. Like, that's why it's so easy to make these, because a bag for like a person that can really help them is only like $5 at the 99-cent store.
And how many times have we all been in a place where we've seen somebody who's homeless and your heart kind of goes out to them, but we've been taught to not look, not stare, not acknowledge, not give attention. Sometimes that feels really inappropriate. You want to be able to give something, but a lot of times people get concerned about, well, if I give money, is it going to make things worse for the person? Will they spend it on drugs or alcohol? Am I helping them? Am I being codependent? But I love that you have something fabulous to do. So show some of the things.
Okay, so first I have this just bag of pretzels.
Okay.
Here's like a water bottle, some socks.
Lovely.
A first aid kit, which I think you can get them at the 99-cent store.
Awesome.
This is like a card I wrote that has like homeless shelters nearby in their area. So.
And how fabulous is that it's handwritten? I mean, that's, there's a part of me that goes, how you can just like put this on the computer and spit them out over and over and over again and take less time, but there's something very sweet about it that it's handwritten, that the person realized you took some time and some effort. Because part of what I have heard from people, I have friends who've been homeless before, and people that I've met, they've said, it's a very dehumanizing event in a life. And to get a handwritten note like that is a very humanizing thing.
Well, yeah, sometimes like I worry that I don't want to like insult them in any way, and especially telling them where homeless shelters are. I don't want anyone to feel weird about it, but it's not very, it's personal, but I don't ever talk to them again. So it's just kind of like, if this can help them, then it's worth it,
Cool.
And then also like a toothbrush.
Awesome.
Some like shampoos and conditioner and soap, which basically I just get the ones from hotel rooms. Like if you don't finish them, you can always just, because they basically, they don't really reuse soap or anything like that. So it's kind of a waste. So
and what a great size, because it's not going to be heavy or anything. So what a great thing to do anytime you go and stay in a hotel is to take those and put them aside and either donate to somebody like Nicky, who's going to give bags, or maybe make a bag yourself. So what else you got in there? This is a fabulous goodie bag.
Okay, yeah. I have a few granola bars.
Okay.
Here's some more shampoo. A little like candy bar.
Yeah.
Just because I got that in the 99-cent store. And then some chapstick. And then these are just little cards that have like inspirational quotes, sort of.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so, and then when you put together a bag, and it's pretty free form, each bag is a little bit different, and do you put it in just like a regular plastic bag to give?
Yeah. At first I wanted to make it in like a nicer like box or something, but I realized that wouldn't really be functional for them anyways.
Yeah.
And so I can just, like, these are the bags that I buy the stuff in, so.
Yeah. So keeping the cost low, making it functional, and quite honestly, I mean, and this is a terrible thing to say, but, you know, the reality of it is that the plastic is something that helps to keep warm too. It can be put in a shoe. People who really need help will use everything that you give, and it really is a functional item. So, Nikki, how many of these do you put together? Do you just like keep a couple in the car? What's the plan?
Okay, I think I usually make like 10 at a time, and then I keep some in my car, and then I'll just keep them in my car all the time, and then if I see someone, I'll pull over and give it to them. Or you know how like you'll be pulling out of the freeway and there'll be like some homeless people standing there sometimes. Yeah, and then when I run out, I just go get some more from the 99-cent store. So
it's very cool. There are a lot of different exits on the freeway here in Los Angeles where people will park on a daily basis, and they have a sign. Right by me, there's a gentleman who's only there in the summer months, but he's there with his dog, and he has a sign that he flips. On one side, it says, "Need love, please," and then on the other side, it says, I could really use some help. But every time that we drive by, and he has it on the "Need some love, please," my husband and my son insist on stopping, and they like go through the car and find like unopened water bottles or whatever to give. And I love this idea because then we could have something in the car to give that makes sense and is helpful, and that you could never feel bad about giving this stuff to somebody.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that they can, hurt themselves with these items. Yeah. This is only about taking care and seeing somebody like a human being. So how did you think of doing this? So you were 14?
Yeah, I remember whenever I would drive with my mom, I mean, she would always like pull over. And I remember this one time there was a homeless woman on the side of the road, and we pulled over, and my mom got out of the car and like started talking to her and giving her money. And I was like, I really wish that we could give them, more, and like give them something that could actually help them, like definitely.
Yeah.
And so I just had the idea to start making these, and it kind of like evolved into this. So
it's really amazing. And I also love that it's all non-perishable. Like even if the pretzels sat in your car for a month, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And the same thing with if you get, a decent granola bar, they just have a shelf life that's like a year.
Yeah.
So there's no time limit on it. And people now have started giving you things, right? Like the hotel soaps and things?
The hotel soaps, yeah. That's really nice of people. I really love when people do that. And when we have like a lot of leftovers, just this weekend, my mom suggested that I use a bunch of our leftovers for these bags. So
very cool. I'm very impressed with you as a person, and this just makes me more impressed with you as a person, because it's truly remarkable. And the water bottle is a great idea too, because it's reusable. Hadn't really thought about that. Did you get that at the 99-cent store?
Yeah, I did.
Really amazing, the kinds of things you can get at the 99. And the socks too. We do a drive here every year in the fall for the teenage homeless shelters, which don't even get me started. That makes me so emotional to think of teenagers out on the streets, and yet we know in the city of Los Angeles that there are thousands of teenagers that are out there, and the number one things that they had asked for were socks and backpacks.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and when you think about that, and think about the teenagers in your lives that are out there, and what the kinds of things that they are asking for, and think about these kids asking for socks and backpacks, it just rips my heart open. And the impact that you could make on a life doing this is just truly amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing how thankful they are, especially when they don't even know what I'm giving them. I'm just giving them like a plastic bag full of things, and some people think that they will, sometimes people might be rude to me, but no, like they're really kind.
Wow.
They're really thankful. So
it isn't that you drive out specifically to go, it's just in the course of your life, you've got them in the car, and when you meet somebody. really remarkable, Nikki. And I want to remind everybody, this is something that you could do easily, or if it's something that for whatever reason you can't do, maybe there's somebody that you know that is willing to do it, that you could donate items to them to help them to do it. Because you don't have to do this alone. If you feel uncomfortable being the person who actually delivers it, maybe you can talk to a friend and say, hey, if I buy the pretzels and the socks, will you put them in your car, and do it in that way together, and you can really make a change. It is compassion in action, but Nikki was doing it a long time before we came up with the idea of compassion in action.
Thanks.
You're wonderful, and we encourage people, you can talk to Nikki here at the show, and she has been a lovely addition to the show, and this is life-changing.
Thank you.
It's really wonderful.
Yeah,
I can't wait to do this with my son. He will get really into this. He will think that this is a really cool thing.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll love it.
And I, there's something about when you're young and you haven't gotten cynical yet. He, of course, wants to help everybody. And I tend to be the more cynical and think, I get into the fear thing about, who is this person? Are they going, if we give them money, are they going to use it to get high, which I don't want to do, right? But this I can get behind. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing and for doing this.